of 2002, the operational squadron I was with at the time was on deployment. The crew I was on a mission to do some training with a couple of nations that bordered the Mediterranean Sea. After we took off, about 30 minutes later, we received a message over air traffic control saying that there was a helicopter that had crashed in the water near us about 30 miles away, and a search and rescue was getting ready to get underway to try to find any survivors from this accident. As we were making our way toward helping out with this search and rescue, because the platform that we flew at the time, one of the primary missions for it was search and rescue, we received a call from our commander saying that we had to continue to proceed with the training mission and to let others take care of the search and rescue. Regardless of the fact that we were the first on scene and closest to the accident, giving that order to us, our crew was not happy. We were going for a training mission instead of paying attention to a real-world search and rescue. So I questioned back to our force commander at the time to just say, are you sure you want us to proceed on this training mission rather than help out with these search and rescue efforts? And the response back was affirmative. Continue flying on to the training. There are other aviation assets in the area that will take care of the search and rescue. They were about 15 minutes behind us. And in that circumstance, minutes are eternity. And so my crew and I were pretty put off. We were very frustrated with giving the order to go ahead and continue with the training mission instead. We followed the order. We completed the mission. It was a successful training mission. But when we got back, I went right to the force commander and asked them in a very heated way, challenging them very directly, not care personally in the least, came forward with the challenge directly. Why in the world would we continue with a training mission when we had real world search and rescue? A helicopter crew was down in the water, and there was no good reason that I was on the receiving end of, and certainly I was heated at the time. So with that challenge directly and lack of care personally, that put me squarely in the obnoxious aggression quadrant. And because of that, I kind of severed the relationship between myself and the force commander, the person that gave us that order, because there really was no good justification. However, I could have been better for that in that conversation, offering the challenge directly, but also being a little bit more willing to listen, to understand, and show care personally for that particular individual with all the stresses and strains that were on that position with other real world operations that were going on at the time. And the need to satisfy the training requirement to interact with international partners was, for that person in the moment with 3 other things going on, way more important. I lacked that understanding and appreciation and awareness, so I came on hot and heavy with the obnoxious aggression. And because of that, again, that relationship paid a penalty.